Okay, next I wanted to talk about section 8.01, chapter directors. Kind of interesting here, something I don't really agree with, so I want to talk about that. Section 801, section E, recall or expulsion as provided by these bylaws. There's section E, section 1. A director may be recalled from his position when a petition containing signatures of no less than, it used to say 25%, but now it's been increased to 50% of the regular members of the affected chapter is presented by the board of directors. I thought, I could understand 50% plus one. Half the people want the chapter director gone. I can understand that, but it's kind of hard to get 50% of the votes. I thought, why would they do that? Well, if you read down in section F, if a vacancy occurs in a directorship, the president shall make an appointment to fill the expired term. Who does that? The president. So the president puts in the person he wants, and then it's harder to get rid of them. 50% of the vote. Hard to get regular members to vote, period, but 50% plus one, and that's just to even just get heard. Any recall petition must contain a summarized statement of the reason for the recall, including the alleged bylaws or resolutions violated by the chapter director. Upon receipt of the petition, the association president shall immediately call for a special recall election. He shall appoint a special election committee comprised of 5 to 7 members of the board of directors to conduct the election without undue delay. The director shall be considered recalled and his directorship declared vacant when a majority of the regular responding members of the affected chapter vote for recall of the director. And that's when he can put in his person as he sees fit. So 25% probably might be a good thing to keep. And moving right along, we've talked about this before, section 10.05, deficit spending. At no time shall the association engage in deficit spending, period. Let's leave it at that. We shouldn't have to add language to support routine operations. We've talked about this. Essentially what it's, if I can distort that and show you how non-routine operations, it's just like, let me just put it this way, okay? It's like saying, you have a medical condition, you can't eat sugar, you're diabetic, and the doctor tells you you cannot eat sugar, but then at the end of that sentence you add the words except on Tuesday. I guess what you're going to do on Tuesday, you're going to eat all kinds of sugar, and it doesn't do your health any good. So it's the same thing with this. At no time shall the association engage in deficit spending, period. It should stay that way. We don't want to get into debt. We don't want, this is bad for us. To support routine operations, adding language to make it vague does not benefit us. It takes power from us. So don't let that one slide. Section 10.09, payments. I almost missed this one. The funds of the association shall only be paid on checks of the association signed by 2 officers, as determined by the board of directors. Now, we talked about this earlier under the treasurer section. The treasurer, we're the ones that elected the treasurer. We want this person in charge of the money. Now here, that takes the power away from us again. The funds of the association shall only be paid on checks by the association signed by 2 officers. It doesn't designate the treasurer anymore. So what do we have a treasurer for? Just saying. So that's bad. Okay, it needs to be the treasurer countersigned by the president. That's it. Shouldn't leave it up to the board of directors. It's just, again, too vague. Almost missed that one. Next, we're going to talk about the executive director. He's an associate employee. There's one section in here that I didn't like, where this is a fiscal impact. It could be immediate because it gives Here, I'll just read it. Section 11.02, Other Employees. Now, it used to say the Board of Directors, but now it's X'd out, and now it's given to Executive Director. So, what it will say now is the Executive Director may employ such other employees as are necessary to assist in the efficient operations of the association. Such employees shall not be members of the Board of Directors or their family members. And that part I agree with. But the part I don't agree with is here the decision lies with one person. And I asked the director about that, and he said, well, I'll still bring it to the board. And I think the board should still choose or approve. Now here the approval is just with the executive director. He can hire and fire who he wants as he sees necessary. Now he has limited, he can't hire family members. But what about friends? It doesn't say that. So that's a problem. We should just keep it as board of directors approving that. And so that was the main changes that it really, as you can tell, they take away a lot of the power from us, the members. It gives the executive director some power that, you know, I don't know, maybe he shouldn't have. I don't know, maybe he should. Not for me to decide. And there's a lot of other changes. But, you know, one thing that I do want to cover really quick is the summary. And I haven't talked about this at all this week, but there was issued the summary of the proposed changes and also the proposed changes, what changes added and things lined out, so you can actually see what's that. But this was submitted by the General Counsel at RSA, Mr. Hayes. And I kind of just skim through it really quick. Proposed changes to the RSA bylaws. This is a summary of the changes. The fiscal impact, none. There are no proposed changes to dues. This is true. They don't, anything in here say we're going to raise dues. They just add positions that will increase cost and add the possibility of getting into debt. That's no good. There's non-substantive changes, corrections, clarifications, deletions, appearance. Yes, it looks nicer, reads a little bit easier. I can understand that. But there are some substantive changes. Transparency requires RSA to maintain and open the books and records of the RSA for inspection by directors or members at the fullest extent permitted by law. We tried that, it didn't work, so maybe we do need that. And I should be able to go in there and take a look and report to you what we have. Membership grants, you know, it doesn't talk about, let's see, 504, here it goes. Section number 7 under officers. Authorizes the board of directors to negotiate with the county for full-time release of officers in addition to the president. So there it is. According to this, we're giving the board of directors of RSA the authorization to negotiate with the county for full-time release of officers. So here's their general counsel saying that, you know, we're giving, this vote means we're giving them authorization to negotiate with the county. Would they do it? I don't see why they wouldn't. And the rest of it I really didn't have a problem with. Yeah, it all seems pretty easy there, except for number 18, requires the funds of the association to be paid on checks of the association signed by 2 officers as determined by the board of directors. So there you have it. That's everything spelled out. Again, it's not about the contract. It's not about any in particular person. It is simply about the bylaws. It's my opinion that the bylaws changes here that we have are not good for membership, and I'm going to encourage you to oppose the changes. I feel fiscally it's going to impact us one day, and we're going to look back here in April of 2013 and say, oh, we could have stopped it, but we didn't. We allowed those changes to occur, and now I'm paying more because it might take a couple years, maybe 10 years, I don't know. But the language in here really takes away that option for us. So I'm going to encourage you what's the worst case here? Let's stop for a second. If we don't impose or allow these bylaws to pass, what's going to happen? Worst case, the current bylaws that we currently are under right this moment will remain. That's not such a bad thing. And we can go back and do it the right way. We can add the language, change the language, make sure it says the right thing instead of what my opinion is. They sent out the email, which they could have attached the PDF to the changes. I don't know if they did or not. I'm pretty certain they did not. And then they sent out that postcard, and it was crickets. Okay, you heard nothing else. That shouldn't have happened. I think it should have been a lot clearer, more discussion, and it shouldn't have taken me making some videos with Jessica Terrace to bring this out in the open. We've had some good discussion this week, and I'm thankful that you, the members, watched the videos and started talking, asking the questions, talking to your chapter directors, calling RSA, and talking amongst yourselves. That's what we intended to do. We just didn't want this to quietly get approved because the membership was unaware of these changes, unaware of the vote. Has RSA said anything about a vote this week? Nope. Have they encouraged people to vote? Nope. Have they encouraged people to read the bylaws for themselves? Nope. I think that's kind of sad. So I'm glad you as a member taking the time. These are very important bylaw changes, and they're not good for us. Well, voting occurs this week. Share this video with someone. Make sure they vote. Share the website concernedforfuture.com, and there's an RSO group on Facebook. We have some information there as well. We'll add updates there as well. It's a powerful group. We as an association are very strong. I want to keep it that way. So again, thank you for watching these videos. Jess and I really do appreciate all the kind words that you've said. Look forward to seeing you out there in the field. Be safe. Thank you.